Thanks for tuning in to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the similarities and the differences between these two wallet-sized tags. The Chipolo Card and the Pebblebee Card 5. And hopefully this will help you pick which one is right for you. Now, obviously, these are designed to go in a wallet because they're basically the size of a credit card. But you could also attach these to a laptop, put them in a backpack, a bike bag, a passport, maybe an ID holder. Any of that stuff would work just fine. And also at the end of the video, I'll discuss how these tags work and address your privacy concerns. So stay tuned for that if you are interested. Now, first we're going to talk about what is the same. The first thing is they both track using only low energy Bluetooth, not the UWB, which is the ultra wideband. So the ultra wideband would make it possible for your phone to actually give you a direction of where the tag is, so you're walking in the actual direction and searching for the tag. Without the UWB, the only thing you're going to get is distance from the tag. So it's kind of like the hot and cold game. So as you get closer to the tag, the graphic will show you that you're getting closer. And then if you get further away, it will obviously show that you're getting further away. And you just kind of navigate around and try to find which direction the tag is actually in. And this works okay, but obviously it would be easier to actually have the phone pointing you in the right direction. And of course, as you get close, you can always turn on the ringtone, which would make it much easier to find these devices. Now this only works if the tag is within the Bluetooth range of your phone. If it is outside the range of your phone, then the tag will be found by a phone or a device in the network, and that's basically why you get these tags. Now if the tag is not close by, meaning it is outside your Bluetooth range, then the Apple Find My or the Google Find Hub will use other phones in its network to locate your tag and let you know where it is and show you where the tag is on a map. Let's talk a little bit about the physical characteristics here. They both do have LED lights. Now the LED lights are not very bright. They are basically just the battery indicators so that they will be hard to see unless you're sort of right on top of them, I think. Now the Pebblebee Card 5 wins this round because it does have 5 LED lights. Maybe it's a little easier to find. I don't know if it's all that much of a difference, but the Chipolo Card just has the 1 LED light. Now most smart trackers don't have bright LED lights, but stay tuned for my other videos because this is the Pebblebee Clip 5. And you can see here it has 2 LED lights, and these actually are very bright and will make this device very easy to find if it is lost. And also this helps with the SOS mode, which I'll go into more details later. If this video has been helpful at all so far, please consider subscribing and liking the video. I really do appreciate it. Now let's get into the battery type. Both of these have a non-replaceable battery that you can wirelessly charge. And I'll go into the battery life when we talk about the differences. But for now, let's continue with what is the same between these two devices, and they are both compatible with Apple and Androids, but not at the same time. If you pair one of these to your iPhone, then the card will only be found by other iPhones or other Apple products. And if you do sell your iPhone and get an Android phone, well, then all you need to do is reset these and then pair it to your Android phone. And then the card will use the Android network or the Google device network. It's great that these cards are able to use either Apple or Android devices. So if you do change devices along the way, you don't have to get all new smart tags, which is really nice. And at the time of this video, no smart tag can use Apple and Android devices in their network at the same time. It's either one or the other. And some of the smart tags are locked to just one network, which would definitely be a disadvantage. Now, basically, the form factor on these is the same. There are some slight differences that I'll talk about in the next section. And for colors, these are the only colors you get, black. The Pebblebee, I guess, is a little more exciting, but, not a big difference. And they both have a Find My Phone function. All you need to do is hit the button here 2 times, and it will find your phone, and it will ring the phone even if it is in silent mode. Now, something I didn't talk about is the button on the Pebblebee is actually very hidden. It's kind of like right here in the middle. There's no way to feel it or see it. You just have to push in there, and then you'll feel the little indentation of the button being pressed. But let me go into the apps real quick and show you the different features for Find My Phone. So this is a Samsung phone, and I'm using the Google Find Hub. If I had an Apple, I'd be using the My Find app, but basically the same thing. And you do get these 2 apps here. I got the Pebblebee and the Chipolo. You don't need these to actually locate the device, but these basically just have different settings that you can change on them. So let's go into the Pebblebee first. I just called it the wallet. And we're going to go, this is the options here. Not too much, like I said, but we're going to go into Phone Finder. So let's click on that. And again, this is the phone finder. You hit the button 2 times to activate it. You could turn it off so that it doesn't work and you're not triggering it by accident. You could have it play the siren and vibrate, which is nice. Or you could just have it vibrate so that it's a little more discreet. And you can change the volume of it, which I think is great because you don't need a deafening volume here if it's in the same room or you're close to it. Even if you had this at half volume, you'd be able to find the card with no problem. So that's something that you can change. And of course, over here, you could toggle this on and off, override silent mode, which I would think you'd probably want on because, again, you're trying to find your device. So let's get into the Chipolo app. And then I got a couple of different ones on here. We're going to go into the Chipolo Card. And again, these are the options here. I'll just scroll down to the bottom there. Okay, so we're going to go to call your phone. And it even says here, double press the button. So we're going to click on this. So you could toggle it on and off. Again, if you don't like the feature, just turn it off. But if you have it on, then the other nice feature that the Chipolo has that the Pebblebee doesn't have is that you could turn on the flashlight on your phone, which is actually pretty helpful because that's bright. The lights on the smart tracking cards are not very bright, but on your phone, it would be very bright. So that would make a big difference in finding it, I think. Now, some smart tags have it where you push a button and then you can control a feature in the smart home. Like when you get home, you can turn on the lights or the air conditioner or something like that. You're not able to do that with these smart tags. Then the other thing that neither of these tags have, which is a nice feature that some other tags do have, is an SOS feature. So this would be if I pushed a button 5 times or I pushed and hold it or something like that, then the siren would activate on the tag, which is actually pretty loud. And that would maybe scare away someone who's trying to do harm to you. And then also, you could set this up beforehand, but you put in some trusted contacts in here, and then when you activate the SOS, that information goes to your contacts and it will give them your location and that you activated the SOS feature. That might come in the future, but at the time of this video, neither of them have it. And if you're concerned about that, again, check out my other videos. There are some tags that do have the SOS feature. Let's keep going. Okay, so now we're going to be talking about the differences between these two cards. So there is a difference in the Bluetooth range. So the Pebblebee Card 5 has a range of 500 feet or 152 meters, and the Chipolo Card is 400 feet or 120 meters. So the Pebblebee does win out a little bit there. And I did test this, in a straightaway area. It came very close to that. But if you're not in any kind of ideal situation, then the range would obviously be much less. But that is still a good range for a smart tag. And both of these do have a siren, but the Pebblebee 5 is louder. The Pebblebee Card 5 has 130 decibels, which is very loud. And the Chipolo Card is 110 decibels. So if you're looking for the loudest, then you want to get the Pebblebee. It's actually amazing that they can make such a loud siren in such a thin card here, but they did it. Now with the Pebblebee Card 5, you can't change the ringtone or the siren or anything about it, but on the Chipolo Card, you can. So let me just show you that. Okay, so let's go into the Chipolo app, and we're going to do the Chipolo Card. And if we just scroll down here, change ringtone. And this is actually the same on any of the Chipolo devices, the pop, the loop, and the card. So let's click on here, and I can't change the volume at all, but I can change to the different ringtone. In case you do have a couple of these, you could have a different ringtone for the different devices. That might make it helpful for you. Or if you just really hate this one, you could change it to something else. Now, both of these tags do have lost mode. And that is a built-in feature on the Find Hub, and it would be on the Apple Find My app as well. Now, I just turned off the Bluetooth so that it doesn't know that my card is right here. But if I hit Chipolo Card, again, it's not next to me. Otherwise, it would show me where it was on the map, and it will show me the last known place on the map, which is sometimes helpful. But then I could mark it as lost. So this would be helpful if you're traveling, or even if you were just somewhere and you were driving home and you missed the out of range notification that let you know that the tracker was not with you anymore, or maybe you turned that off, which is possible. You could toggle that feature off if you don't like it. So anyway, you don't have your tracker with you, and whatever the tracker was attached to, your bag, your wallet, your keys, whatever it was, we mark it as lost. Now what this is going to do, it's going to notify you when it's found. So that's one nice thing, right? But then if we continue, you could put a message on here. So you can put in your phone number if you want, and a little message, and you have to put an email. So when someone finds the tag, say it was in a restaurant and you left it behind, then this information would pop up on their phone telling them, hey, this is Joe and this is my tag. If you do find this, please call me or email me or whatever. Hopefully this will allow someone who's kind and finds the device and actually would contact you and maybe mail it back to you, which would be really nice. And of course, obviously all the money and valuables would be gone, but at least you'd get your bag and your ID and other stuff back, right? So that would be nice. Now, the Pebblebee Card 5 does have a QR code in the back, so you don't have to mark it lost. They would just be able to scan this QR code, and then they would get the information on the card and who it belongs to. This is information you set up beforehand, so you may not even know that it's lost. And then someone finds your tag, they scan the code, they get your information, and then they say, hey, I have your stuff. What do you want to do with it? Do you want me to hold it, or what have you? Let me just show you what that looks like on the app. Okay, so we're going to go into the Pebblebee app here, and then we're going to go into the wallet. And then again, I showed you what's in the app, but we're going to just scroll down here to link settings. We're going to manage that. Then your custom message, and it even says when someone scans the QR code, this is what they're going to see. And this is the information that you could provide there if you want, which is nice. And you don't have to have anything in here if you don't want to. But it's nice if you set this up beforehand and someone does find the tag and they scan the code and then they have information to contact you. Again, it's only the information you put on here. So if you put your email, they just send you an email. They don't have any other information about you. They don't know your name. They don't know where you live or anything else. They just know that they have a tag and they want to try to get it back to you. So that's all there is here. The Chipolo does not have that feature, but it does have that lost feature that's available in the Google Find Hub. And that is also available with the Pebblebee as well. This is just an extra thing. So if the person has that Bluetooth off, they could scan it and again, they would get that information. Okay, let's talk about the battery life. So as I said before, they both have non-replaceable rechargeable batteries. And the Pebblebee Card 5 will last for 18 months, which is actually very amazing, I think. And the Chipolo Card will last for 6 months, which is still just fine, I think. And then when you get a low battery indicator, you just throw these on a wireless charger and then you're all set. There is also a slight difference in the IP rating, which is the dust and water resistance. The Pebblebee Card 5 is IPX6, so no dust resistance at all. And the Chipolo Card is IP67. Now the form factor is basically the same on these. The Pebblebee is thinner. I'll hold this here. I doubt you can see that on the video, but the Pebblebee is thinner. And you can see the size difference there. The Pebblebee is just slightly bigger. Then of course, the LEDs, you got 5 LEDs on the Pebblebee and only 1 on the Chipolo, which might make a difference. The buttons we went over, it's a little hard to find on the Pebblebee, but once you know where it is, I think you'll be all right. There is another difference. The Chipolo Card can actually take selfie pictures, which is great. So you just have to set it up in the app. Because normally if you hit this button 2 times, you're going to call your phone. But you're also going to hit it 2 times when you want to take a picture. So to do that, you got to get into the Chipolo app first before you take the picture, like this. And then we're going to go into the card. And then I scroll down here, take a selfie. Now, you could hit this button down here and you can change to either camera, whichever one you want to use. And then you could also turn the flash on and off. But then what you're going to do is just hit the button here twice. And then it gives you a little notification ring on this thing, and then it will take the picture. So that's kind of cool. Now, they both have an out of range or a left behind notification. And that basically means if you leave your card or whatever the card was in, your wallet, your bag or whatever, at your house, at work, at a restaurant, wherever it is, when you get far enough away from that area, your phone will notify you and let you know, hey, you left this behind, and then you can go back and get it. And it's usually a pretty quick notification, which is nice. Now, the Chipolo, that worked perfectly on iPhone and Android phones, but on the Pebblebee 5, as of now, it only works on the iPhone. In the description, I will leave the dimensions of these guys if you are interested in that, and I'll also leave in there other videos of other smart tags that I've done. If you're looking at, this is the older Samsung I just had up here. This is, the Chipolo Pop, the Loop. This is the Pebblebee Clip 5. Any of these things that you're interested in, check out my channel. If you made it this far, please subscribe, but we're not quite done. I'm just going to go over quickly how these smart tags actually work. Okay, so this is a quick schematic of how this works. I was going to draw pictures, but my pictures weren't very good, so I just got a basic schematic here. You have your phone here, you pair it to your device. Now, this tag is locked to this device. It can't be paired to anything else unless it gets reset and then everything's erased. But once it's paired, now this tag is all the way over here. It is outside the range of your phone. Now, your phone can't detect it at all, so it relies on other phones to pick it up. The device sends out a little signal. Another device picks it up. The person with this device has no idea that anything was picked up by the tag. They have no idea that anything happened. They don't get any notification at all. The phone or the device just relays the information to the Samsung Cloud or the Apple Cloud or the Google Cloud, whatever company that you are using or whatever network you're using. They get that information, and that will be, again, all encrypted. And the only thing they have is the tag's location, and then they send that information to you. And all that's encrypted, and supposedly Google and Samsung don't keep track of any of the location data on any of this stuff. And then, so you had no idea which phone or which device actually found your tag, and the person who found your tag has no idea that they sent information to you. So it is completely anonymous. If you do have any questions, please let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. If you made it this far, obviously you need to subscribe, like the video, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks so much for watching.